Hey guys, Mr. Washam here, and this is the final update for our school year as this is your last week of AMI and 8th grade science. As you can see this week I have chosen not to wear a hat because I have yet to cut my hair since we've been out of school, and this is what has been growing underneath the hat, so I thought I would not wear the hat this week. One, for Miss Giesing, she always gives me trouble about that, and two, just to show off the COVID growth there, right? So maybe you guys have something similar going on. Please remember to always, be patient with what's going on out there in our world. Give everything time, and when it's appropriate to return to whatever normal activity you feel comfortable returning to, then get back to those activities. Try not to rush anything as you guys actually get into your real summer here where you no longer have our weekly AMI assignments. So your last assignment this week is going to continue to focus on the Earth. And so last week we talked about the layers of the Earth, and we saw the Earth kind of has a couple different layers. It's got the crust, which we all walk on, right? And then underneath the crust, it's got the mantle, and the mantle is broken up into some different layers, but primarily it's the mantle. You got the upper mantle and lower mantle below that. And the center of the Earth, you got the core, right? So you have the crust, the mantle, and the core is kind of what makes up the Earth. And so when people dig, and that's one thing we really want to talk about, people are like, well, how far down can you dig? And so that's kind of one thing we really get into in class. We didn't have a chance to here, but kind of interesting that I think it still stands as the largest hole in the world, is a place out in Russia, and they dug like approximately 7 miles down or something like that. But you've got to go really, really far to actually break through the crust and get to the mantle. And the place that really happens and exposed is in, through volcanoes where lava or magma is coming out. The other place you'll see it a lot is in oceans, but you'd have to go to the bottom of the ocean where, of course, the crust's a lot thinner underneath the ocean, right? Because you're now getting closer to the mantle, you're further down. And so there on the oceanic crust on the floor of that, sometimes it will split and cause a rift, and the lava can kind of come right up through that. And a great example of that is what's called the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. And so the Mid-Atlantic Ridge is this really long ridge that runs through the Atlantic Ocean, and it is doing something that you're going to learn about in this week's lesson. So this week's lesson focuses on continental drift, and just think about what that might mean for a second. And really, it's focusing on a theory of something called Pangea. And so this week, your assignment is to use some evidence and some puzzle pieces to assemble what our Earth used to look like. Because if you look at a globe of the Earth today and you see where all the different continents are, this may not be how it's always been. It might have actually looked different a long time ago, maybe like 250 million years ago. And in the future, it may look different again. So I hope you guys really enjoy this lesson. It's really interesting. It's really neat. When you complete the assignment, you'll take a photo of it like you have been doing, and you'll submit it through Classroom. And again, this is your final assignment for AMI. Hope you guys have enjoyed 8th grade science. Hope you've enjoyed the last quarter of it at home, and I wish you all the best in high school. Have a good one, everybody.